Welcome, my 311 subscribers, everyone, who I guess is still reaping the rewards of your persistence and loyalty, although it's falling off a bit now, especially for Rampage. Welcome to my review of AEW Rampage for the January 20th show. Let's begin. So this Rampage was one of the easiest to digest. Like, the show went by so fast, and not even because of how good it is. The heights it reaches aren't like very high. It's pretty much average level, but they don't do anything bad or like too bad. I mean, it's alright. But yeah, let's start with the first match. So first match is Ethan Page versus Jungle Boy, and this is like the TV storyteller with a like pretty fun start because Ego's edge attempt right off the bat, like when Jungle Boy is doing his taunt. And then I think it slows down too much and then focuses on the story between Page, the Firm, and Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy. Like the Hardy Enterprises thing being bought out by the Firm. And I would have been more into this if this was actually on AEW TV. If it wasn't just on Dark. I don't watch Dark, and I'm kind of getting the vibe of what I pitched last year, where Matt Hardy tears the faction from inside, and that seems to be happening, but it's being presented pretty awkwardly. Like, Matt Hardy's even trying to, like, be friends with the Firm, even if the Firm are being dicks to them, but right now it doesn't seem to be very important. I'm guessing Mark Quinn and Jeff Hardy eventually save Cassidy and Matt, but again, it's like a pretty low-level feud as of now. We do get an escalation of the feud next week, which I'm going to explain after I review the match. But yeah, this was like too slow-paced. The heel takes his time too much, and the crowd makes us know that they're not impressed. Yeah, just too uneventful, and when the bomb phase starts, when like the climax happens, they go the route of like multiple shenanigans happening. A lot of like distraction spots. Hook shows up to do nothing. But I do like the ending. I like that they attempt the moves that their associated legends are doing. So yeah, Page does like a twist of fate, fails. Jungle Boy does an unprettier and then fails. But that was pretty much the extent of the climax phase. The finish was actually pretty fun, and I think it's like the best part of the match. So Ethan Page rolls up Jungle Boy with the help of like holding on to Matt Hardy's ponytail. But then Hardy like swats him away. All Ego is rolled up, and then Jungle Boy wins 1-2-3. So the Firm head further down the card. They just had their leader lose, as well as their big man. I don't like that the Firm are portrayed as a bunch of incompetents. I don't like that they're losing everything. At least like win via cheating or something. Have Big Bill beat Hook. Have Ethan Page beat Hook. Like, they came from such a pretty high place, being MJF's goons. But after that, it's pretty much been a steep decline. Top 2 spots of the match. Number 2 is Ethan Page's Power Slam. Number 1 is the finish. TV undercard match. I do like the post-match though, because they actually like move the feud to Dynamite. So Matt Hardy wants to be friends with Ethan Page. So Page challenges Jungle Hook to a match on Dynamite with Matt Hardy as his teammate. And this can only go one way. I think Ethan Page is going to eat the pin. Matt Hardy's going to cause him to lose like unintentionally because he's a babyface. Or who knows, we can finally get like the Hook loss. But having him lose in a tag team match, is that really the smartest option? So yeah, that's why for me, Ethan Page is going to eat the submission. He's going to lose to Hook and lose the feud, and they're going to go back on Dark. Unless like something crazy happens, like Jeff Hardy returns, saves Matt, the Broken Universe returns or something. Like, something crazy like that has to happen to like take this feud to the next level. So after this is the Eddie Kingston and Ortiz promo. So this one might have been segment of the night. And there's not really much competition here. And they don't really make this feud seem important. Like, if they made Eddie Kingston more prominent on Dynamite, this could reach, like, new heights. If, like, House of Black was more prominent, like, if one of them was TNT champion or something, this would be, like, more talked about, but I didn't really notice the feud much except last week. Last week was incredible. And they do a good job to follow it up here. Just move this up to Dynamite, like once or twice a month. But yeah, aside from that, I love the direction where this feud is going. It's so real. Like, Ortiz's promo style is so real, and I'm glad that they're not relegating him as, like, faction guy. Dude has a mind of his own and can cut a promo. He does the one thing really well, and I think can be like a good mid-card wrestler. But the way he was portrayed ever since AEW started will be like an obstacle for him. People still see him as like a tag guy. For me, he was like the more entertaining member of PNP. But Santana was just bigger, can do more stuff, or was allowed to do more stuff. But Ortiz certainly was the funnier dude. But like as a singles guy, I mean, his peak will always be like tag team champion, but singles, maybe All Atlantic. So yeah, the guy calls Eddie Kingston out and then scolds him for almost attacking Julia Hart. And the crowd was into this. Ortiz can promo. He shoots some straight facts, as well as preaches their value system. But Eddie Kingston beats him with a chair. And I think officially turns heel. But you don't know with Eddie Kingston. And Ortiz looks like the guy who would like forgive Eddie. But yeah, he's pretty much heel now. I'm guessing his stuff with House of Black is almost done. They're moving back House of Black to the TNT title feud. And I don't see Eddie beating Malachi, so this might have been the end of it. We end with a heel Eddie and maybe Ortiz doesn't show up. Or he ends up in the mid-card. We could get a Santana return. That would be cool, but yeah. This segment was segment of the night. So after this is the Darby Allin video promo, where he challenges Buddy Matthews. The content of the promo was okay. The delivery is like the usual Darby delivery. It's established. We already know that he can promo. It may come out as murmury sometimes, but here is one of the more well-delivered ones. And in this one, he challenges Buddy to a match for the TNT title on Dynamite. He's going to be defending the TNT Championship every week. And of course, I think he's going to beat Buddy. And hopefully drop it to Malachi, where I think it will have like more direction. It'll be involved in storylines, not just title defenses every week. But I am liking Darby's reign more than Wardlow's, with how short he had it back. But yeah, expecting a banger. We know what Buddy can do. So after this is Brian Cage versus Willie Mack. And this was pretty one-sided, as it should be. These guys start off the match with a bunch of like luchador, junior, cruiserweight exchanges, and they just look a bit awkward. Like it's a bit slower to like happen. I mean, there's a lot of waiting around for like the cruiserweight exchanges. There are visible lags because these guys are like big. These might be the two biggest people aside from Satnam Singh in AEW so far. This was pretty awkward to watch. I think they should save their like cruiserweight stuff, not for like lockup exchanges like this, like the intro part. I think they should save it for like actual big moves like moonsaults or something, or just like shocking escapes. But if they do this like right off the bat, it doesn't work very well. I did like Willie Mack's Fortnite dance followed by the moonsault. Like that's exactly how you should use their like cruiserweight skills. But like the last one, without being overbooked, is pretty much like the same structure. Evenly matched start, heel dominates the middle part, Willie Mack tries for a comeback, but then heel wins. The climax was pretty fun because we finally got some power moves, some like hard strikes. And this isn't like another example of like the extent of like how their speed should be used. And as for the finish, it's a drill claw by Brian Cage for the win. So yeah, top 2 spot is the finish, and number 1 is the Fortnite Dance Moonsault. So I'm gonna give this a rating of like TV main event. It was good enough, but just like the bare minimum requirements for TV main event. So after this is Jim Ross promoting the Jaguars. Very short, and as of recording, pretty depressing part since Jaguars lose. Like for the whole game, they were in striking distance of the Chiefs, but they don't like take advantage of this. People predicted them to be like blown out, but they managed to hold the Chiefs to like 27 points and Jags score 20. Certain players choke. Defense, I think, did what they can do against Patrick Mahomes. And I think Trevor Lawrence actually played pretty well. But yeah, too early for this team, too untalented as of now. So after this is Jade Cargill and Layla Gray against a bunch of jobbers. Like some twin jobbers. So Layla is actually the battiest of the baddies right now or like ever. She looks good and like acts like complimentary to Jade. We actually like have her acknowledging her compared to the others. Like for me, Kiera Hogan was a bit too babyface, like looking. And Red Velvet was also like a cool baddie, but never really played into the fact that she was a baddie or like Jade's underling too much. But in ring wise, those two are better than Layla Gray as of now. Layla Gray is just above like the Divas wrestler, a bit green, and I hope she improves like in time, but ceiling not very high as of now. She's not like a Kylan King. But I love the dynamic between the two, her and Jade. I like that Jade asked for the pinfall and Layla Gray just like acknowledged her. Finish is a Jaded to one of the twins for the win. TV undercard match. This was actually pretty lengthy compared to other squash matches. So yeah, and then after this, we don't get any more promo segments or anything. We get two and that's pretty much it. So yeah, we head straight to the main event. And for another week, we have a different setup. So just Mark Henry by himself. We don't have like the split screen pre-match intros. And last week it was excused. Like it made sense not to have this, but this week not very much. Like having a video promo after Mark Henry talks is like just pretty awkward because why even have him there if he doesn't like mediate between the two opponents? This just sucks. But yeah, I mean, until we get the old Rampage promo part before the main event, I'm not gonna do the thing. It's time for the main event. So yeah, the main event is Daniel Garcia versus Action Andretti. So this is the only reason why I watched the show. It didn't look like there was gonna be any bangers in the show, and I ended up being right. But I was invested in the Garcia Guevara story with the pants. Must watch TV. But there is one major flaw in this. So yeah, it displays Andretti. And yeah, I have to concede that he's a very talented high-flying wrestler, even though he misses a lot of times. Like, we have these high-flying moves that, like, flat out just miss Garcia. He needs a bit more, like, experience. Garcia finally wrestles like a sports entertainer, but mixed in with some BCC. Like when he attacked Andretti at the start. Jericho and Sammy on commentary were just like great. They made the match. Like amazing comedic chemistry that those two have. They can bounce off each other like about the rope-a-dope thing because Sammy says rope and dope. Jim Ross like questions him on this, but he comes back with an awesome line with the channel or the network being called TNT. It's so dumb, but very funny. And now for the biggest flaw of the match. I don't like that the pants pretty much don't play a factor. It only happens like once, but like Garcia pulls on the pants real hard. Like a bit too much, but not enough. Like having him visibly struggle with the pants. That like directly causes him to lose. Is more compelling television than just having him say that he was uncomfortable during the match. I didn't like that this didn't play to the ending. Structure is pretty much the same throughout the whole night. The typical evenly matched start, heel domination, comeback, but this time the babyface wins. So yeah, top 3 spots of the match. So Andretti's outside dive, followed by the superstar press. Like these two happen in quick succession, by the way. And number 1 spot is the shote by Daniel Garcia to counter a diving move by Action Andretti. So yeah, finish is just a standing shooting star press and that's it. No struggle with the pants. I'm so disappointed. But the match was pretty good, so I'm giving it like TV main event, pay-per-view undercard. So I guess it's the Sex Gods versus Starks and Andretti. Yeah, okay, I mean, it's alright, but the more interesting feud is like the one with Garcia and Guevara. That I think is gonna last for a couple of months, like it should, before they pay it off. Maybe at the next pay per view cycle. Or you know what, at the end of the year, who knows? But yeah, a very average episode of Rampage. Like, in Rampage standards. Just pretty average. Nothing really shines out match wise, and we only have like two promo segments. This felt like a Velocity, this felt like a Heat. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this week of AEW. So yeah, I guess that's it for this review. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. Share if you don't know me. Hit that bell notification for future videos, and please, watch my shit.